The holidays are about spending time with your loved ones and creating magical memories that will last a lifetime. So whether it's family and friends you haven't seen in a while, or those who you see all the time, share holiday magic this season with an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Copyright 2024, The Coca-Cola Company.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. Recently, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices due to inflation. They said yes. And then when I asked if raising prices technically violates those onerous two-year contracts, they said, "What the f*** are you talking about, you insane Hollywood ass?" So to recap, we're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
Check 1, 2. What is up, you guys? Sarah B. Morgan here with another episode of The Sarah B. Show. I'm just going to let you know right now, like always, this one is definitely going to be right all over the place. Life is crazy. That's all I'm going to say. I am known as like the YOLO girl. I really like making YOLO decisions, and they are not great for everyone, specifically my bank account. But I am always down for a good story. I'm always down to add to the plot and the plot twist. And it's just how I've always been. I love having crazy stories to tell and weird, interesting facts about myself. And I just love a mix up. And even though it can be stressful, you just never know what's going to happen. It can be great for the story. And literally right before I started this podcast, I've had one of those moments. Before I get into that, I will tell you, I did tease a couple of things last week. I did not forget how I almost set my apartment on fire. And then also some crazy chaos in the dating world. This one has to do with a run club I joined, and I will give you guys all the details on that. It's jaw-dropping, honestly. And I'm going to get into that. But first, we're going to get into my YOLO moment. So I hate that I can't really give all of the details about this, but it's interesting. So basically, you guys know that I was doing a lot of stuff this summer. What was it? July and September, I believe. I was maybe August. I don't even know anymore. It's been forever ago. But basically, I was doing some top secret stuff that was very exciting, and I could not tell you guys about it. I still cannot tell you guys about it, but I will tell you very soon. I'm going to say less than a week. I can talk about this finally. But basically, whenever I told you guys I was going to space or that I went into space, that's what this is. So more space talk here. But basically, I am going to be able to talk about space very, very soon. I will say, NDAs are crazy, and I signed a very hefty one, so that is why I cannot talk about it. I've gotten so many of you blowing up my comments and my inboxes and guessing things, like I've said before, and I will say several of you are right, but I'm not going to confirm which ones. But yeah, I think people are definitely finding out now. Either way, I cannot confirm nor deny anything. I'm just here living life. But that being said, I cannot wait to tell you guys about what just happened. An opportunity just presented itself, I'm going to say, with going to space again. And I had to make a choice very quickly on if I wanted to or not. And the biggest thing was my amazing bosses at the Lex and Terry show, Lex, Terry, and D. Shout out to them. They've been very great to me. They're always great, but this year they've been very great and lenient and letting me do things, try to live my dreams out, grasp some very big, crazy, possibly life-changing experiences, and letting me go for my dreams, which is really fucking awesome. I just dropped an F-bomb. Sometimes I get scared when I do that, and then I remember, oh yeah, this is my own fucking podcast. I can say whatever the fuck I want, but let's not be egregious with our fucks. Okay. So anyway, I want to give a big thank you to them. And basically, this is just something to do with an end game of the space project when I went up in space. And it's just a very exciting exclamation point on the end of our entire space exploration. I hate that I can't tell you guys about this, but basically, long story short, the guys were gracious enough to grant me yet another day off, even though we have a 2-week vacation coming up. It was very, very cool of them. And I am going to be flying to LA next week. And by next week, I mean like 3 days from now or something. Oh my God, I'm flying to LA on Tuesday and I'm flying back to Dallas on Wednesday. Again, I can't talk about what I'm doing yet, but a couple days after that, I'll be able to. And I cannot wait to share what a crazy time this has been with you guys. Like life-changing stuff for sure. And I cannot wait to be able to talk all about it. I'm going to be giving you all the details, behind the scenes stuff, having lots of astronauts on as well that I met in space, and it's just going to be awesome content. I cannot wait to share with you all. But that being said, I'm pretty excited. I'm a little nervous about this. This is going to be a very whirlwind trip. I'll literally be coming into work and then I'll be like flying out, and then I'll be missing one day. But basically, like, it's very... If my flight, knock on wood, gets delayed, I'm screwed. I just spent a ton of money that I did not need to spend on this. But I'm like not upset at all. I'm like, I cannot stop smiling like ear to ear. Basically, like sometimes life hands you these moments and I feel like sometimes you just got to go for them and you can like figure out the rest later. And that's certain subjects, right? Like obviously if it's like life or death or something crazy, like don't do that. But I don't know, this one wasn't, and I'm just so excited. And this even like reiterates even more what I was talking about last time of needing to get that second job at REI to pay off credit cards and debt and get ready for more travel and adventures. But yeah, I don't know. It feels good to book a flight, and it feels awesome to look on my thing and it say, oh, you have a trip next week to LA. Oh, you have a trip to Punta Cana, Dominican Republic in March. Like, I don't know. Life is just exciting, and I'm here for the ride. So I've been at the studio for like 2 hours working on this other stuff, and now I'm finally doing my podcast. So that's what just happened before this show started. I'm surprised that not only am I alive right now, but I sound like this because I am going on cleanse day number 2 right now, which means I have not eaten anything. And I am starving, but right now I'm too excited about other things to think about food. But basically, first of all, a shout out to a good handful of you guys, actually, who signed up in the last week for Go Cleanse under me, which is awesome. So congratulations, first of all, for taking that first step. You guys are going to have some life-changing experiences of your own soon in the best way possible. To me, again, the cleanse day 1 is always the hardest of all of this. So I just did another little mini cleanse. I did a few days of my shake days with the healthy meal. And then I did a cleanse day yesterday and today. But that first cleanse day is killer for me. I suck at it. And I always almost cave, and something that helps me a lot is the bone broth. It helps greatly. Also, hot tea helps a lot. And Twinings right now, if you're into Christmas hardcore like I am, released 4 Christmas flavor teas. And I wanted to get all of them, but I was like, I can't sit here and spend $24 on tea. But I regret not doing it. But anyway, I got one. It was the Christmas peppermint tea, and it's really, really good. So hot peppermint tea and bone broth has been saving me. Today has not been as bad. I do a dirty cleanse, as they call it in the biz, and had some coffee as well, which hit so good. But yeah, and I always count it down. So you do 4 juices in a day on a cleanse day. So you have 2 cleanse days. I'm like, all right, 8 juices to get through. I can do this. So I count down each one. I'm like, okay, day 1's done, 4 juices down, 4 to go. And I'm at the point now where I'm 7 juices down, y'all. I got 1 more to go tonight and 3 hours, and then I'm done. And it always helps too on the cleanse days. I need to have Scott on, from Go Cleanse, Scott and Peter, to talk about it. They've been wanting to come on, and I would love to have them on to talk about all the details and how all the science behind it and how it really works, because I know I butcher it. All I know is it works for me and literally everyone, and that's all I need to know. I love it, but learning the science behind it is good, so I won't sound like this when I explain it. But basically, I think they say the first cleanse day is when you burn, what is it? It's all the water weight, and second day is all the fat, or it's vice versa. I don't know. But basically your body's working really, really hard. And yeah. So basically you wake up on your cleanse day number 2 and you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, oh my God, where did my gut go? Where did my stomach go? Why do I look so good right now? I looked like a haggard mess when I woke up, face wise, but my body was a banging. I took pictures and really wanted to post them. If my face didn't look the way it did, I guess I could post them and put an emoji over it. But I'm very proud. Go Cleanse is just awesome. So again, shout out to everyone who joined, whether you're doing it here right with the holidays before Christmas hits or you're going to do it after. Best of luck to all of you. Once again, you have your 11-day option or your 30-day option. I always just like get everything and kind of do it however I want. Just try it out. Experiment. Do, smaller amounts. Do 11 days, do 30 days, whatever works for you. It's definitely different for everyone. But if you want to go check it out or read up on it, you can go to gocleanse.com/Sarah. That is gocleanse.com, GOCLEANSE.com/Sarah, SARAH. And yeah, it's pretty great. And speaking of that, it's so funny because when I do shake days, I usually like work out the same hardcore, do lifting weight, gaining muscle, all that kind of stuff. And then I'll usually do like a light cardio depending on how I'm feeling on cleanse days. And last night, I went to my gym and I was walking, and I was just going to do like a 30-minute walk just to get out of my apartment and stop thinking about food because it's all I could think about. I have this thing too where it's like self-torture. I'll sit there and like look at menus and food videos and pictures when I'm like on a cleanse day. It's almost like I'm feeding my eyes, but man, it's almost torture. Like for real. I just torture myself. I love food so much. So anyway, I went to the gym. I was going to do a 30-minute walk, and there was this really hot guy that came in the gym. He was a ginger, which I'm usually not into, only because like my brother is a ginger. So I feel like if I date a ginger, I'm dating my brother. And I know that's stupid because there's like a billion gingers in the world, but like, I don't know. I just don't think I could do it. I feel like everyone would be like, oh, you like your brother? And I'd be like, good point. I can't say anything. But anyway, he was cute. And I was wearing a baby blue fit from Fabletics. It was super cute. And then he was wearing a baby blue hoodie. So obviously we were meant to be you guys. And then he came and got on the treadmill next to me. But he didn't really have a choice because when I got there was people on the other two treadmills. So I got on the middle one. So I guess it doesn't really mean anything. But anyway, he got on next to me and I was like, oh, I'm going to keep this going for as long as I can. So long story short, I went to walk 30 minutes and I got off after 80 minutes. And I thought about like continuing to go just to see what would happen. But I drank so much water, I had to pee so bad. And I was like, screw this. I just need to go home. And then when I was leaving, an even hotter guy came in. I was like, damn it. Anyway, this is my life being single. Lots of eye candy all the time. That is what I do. But I got a good like almost 6 miles in my 70 minutes of walking. So that was fun. But anyway, long story short, I'm cleansing. You can too. GoCleanse.com/Sarah. And I cannot wait to eat tomorrow. I already have my healthy meal planned out. I have some turkey bacon, some eggs, and I got a juicy little avocado waiting on me. Ooh, man, I'm hungry. But I digress. It is fine. And now I'm so glad I did this cleanse too, because I'm going to look hot as F next week for my space function in LA. So that'll be great. And I have so many astronauts that I know that'll be going, and we're going to be seeing each other and sharing rooms together. And I am just absolutely stoked. So yay for that. Okay. I digress. That is my Go Cleanse spiel, and I feel like I'm on crack right now in the best way possible. All right, now let's get into the other juicy deets that I was going to tell you guys about.
Hey, it's Austin James. If you're like me, trying to live your best life while living with diabetes, you can relate to worrying if you're doing a good job managing your diabetes. I use the Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor to get real-time glucose readings and see the impact of every meal and activity to make better decisions. The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor can help me live life with diabetes on my own terms, and it gives me more time for the things I love, like being a dad and a musician. Now this is progress. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
This episode is brought to you by AWS. Amazon Q Business is the new generative AI assistant from AWS. Many tasks can make business slow, like wading through mud. Help! Luckily, there's a faster, easier, less messy choice. Amazon Q can securely understand your business data to help you streamline tasks, like summarizing quarterly results or doing complex analyses in no time. Q got this. Learn what Amazon Q Business can do for you at aws.com/learn more.
All right, so let's get into how I almost burnt my apartment down first. Okay, so I love having fires so much. Fire is great. I love a fireplace. As far as apartments go, obviously I live in them and I move often. And I am the kind of girl that prefers like an older apartment complex that has like more character and more personality over the brand new modern ones that all look the same. They're really nice and I've lived in both, but I just prefer the older ones. I just like they have a charm to them. And most of the older places have fireplaces, which I really love, which makes zero sense here in Texas. I get it. We're hot like all the time. We do have some pretty cold winters. And I know like people that are in like Fargo and Alaska and other cold places that I don't have to say here and mention all of them, but are probably judging me like that's not cold. But like right now, for example, it is, what is the temperature right now? It is, oh my God, it's 60 right now. Okay, it's a little warmer today. But it's been like in the 30s and 40s. And that is cold for us here in Texas. We don't like that. It's very cold. So I love in the wintertime having a fire. It's like the best thing ever. Plus, fires are just so romantic and just like fun to build. My Texas just came out there, y'all. Fires are fun to build. Anyway, they are. I digress. But yeah, they're really, really fun and warm. Obviously, you can save electricity, whatever. Fires are just awesome. I'm an adult and I like having a fireplace and I like putting wood in it and making large flames. It's fun and magical as well. And laying in front of the fireplace is just like next level. And then especially during Christmas and you have all your like tree and your lights on. I just love it. I don't need to explain it, but I love it. So I had to wait for a very long time to have a fire this year. Texas, and you know, maybe it's global warming or whatever you guys believe in. We're not going to get into any arguments here about that. But basically, it just seems like every year it gets warmer later. And I'm sitting here like thinking, God, is it going to be, are all the like seasons going to change soon? Is like January or like, what is it, like March to June going to be like winter now, like, and you know what I mean? Like, is everything going to just change? Because I swear it's like almost the end of December and our leaves are just now starting to turn orange and red. And that usually happens in like September. It's kind of crazy. And it's just now starting to get cold. And it's normally way colder than this. Like, we've had some days recently where they've been like in the, 40s, but it's 60 degrees out there right now on December 13th. Like, what? Also, happy Friday the 13th. But yeah, that's just crazy to me. It is just not, it took forever to actually start getting cold and it's still not that cold. But I, a couple weeks ago, decided to have my first fire. I was really excited. Every time I go to the store, I like get a bundle of wood because I'm like, gotta stock up. I always say it too. A couple years ago, we had that big like winter blizzard, crazy ass storm that like completely like cut Texas off from the rest of the world because we were just not prepared for it. Lost power for like a week. Our animals almost died. We had a fireplace, but we had to go to like Home Depot in a blizzard. Thank you for my Jeep. Thank God. And they were cutting up like 2x4s to give us because all firewood everywhere was out. So we were burning 2x4s. We were putting one 2x4 in every like 30 minutes to try to like save our wood. It was a nightmare. So I think it's like the PTSD in me that like goes to the store and I'm like, I'm going to stock up just in case. But anyway, I've been waiting, I've been ready, and I finally had my first fire, and it was kind of sad to do because my fireplace was so beautiful. It was like shiny and looked brand new, like nobody's ever used it because I haven't since I moved in. And anyway, I like checked out the flue situation. It was very old school, so I opened it, made sure it was opened, put all my wood in and my starter stuff and got it going. And it started flaming up really quickly. I left it open so I could get some warmth in there because now I don't have any animals. It's just me. I don't really use my AC or heat. I just kind of like bundle up or get naked. And my electricity bills have been like $28, which is awesome. But yeah, so I started it and it just was getting really smoky in there. And I was like, oh, what is going on? And so I assumed it was something they sprayed in there, like a cleaning thing or like the paint that they used, something. So I shut it, the glass part, and it just kept getting worse. And like the whole place in there started getting really like smoky. All my fire alarms started going off in every room. And I was like, shit. And so I turned on some fans. I turned on the AC and I started like fanning the fire alarms in hopes that it would stop, and they finally did. But the smoke was getting worse, and I'm like, what is happening? So I opened my patio, and like the smoke started like billowing out of there. Like it got so bad that it felt like a stop, drop, and roll situation. You know, when you watch those videos online or like watch them in school when you were young, and it would show like you get to the ground because that's where the smoke is not. It all rises, right? It was literally like that. You could see like smoke collecting at the top of my apartment, and I'm in vaulted ceilings too on the 3rd floor, but like it was scary. So smoke is billowing out of my patio door. I saw a woman out there walking her dog, and she was like looking up at my apartment. So I know that smoke was coming out. Like my place was on fire. People were looking up like worried. So then I opened my front door. I propped it open, and I'm like, why is this not airing out? It's almost like the flue isn't open, but I know I opened it. Am I going crazy? So then I went and opened my fireplace, got the phone, and looked. And it turns out that it was just like really old and janky. So you have to like really push the flue thing to the right and like lodge it up there for it to stick. Otherwise it falls closed again. And that's exactly what happened. So I opened it, but it fell closed when I walked away. So I was sitting there having a freaking fire in my apartment, basically just a fire in my living room with no flue open, no nothing. Oh my God, you guys, it was a nightmare. The smell has finally kind of gone away, but it took forever for all that smoke to get out of there. Like I was so thankful that I didn't have birds because I genuinely think that would have killed them. I had a really scary situation before because, you know, birds are very sensitive. You can't burn candles around them. You can't have smoke around them, like nothing. And I would have fires, and I had this old apartment, like, I don't know, before I even started dating El Teco. I had a fire, and the ventilation wasn't great in there, and like it was a very old apartment, kind of crappy, so it would still get stuck in there a lot. And I just remember waking up the next morning, and Gatsby, my baby sweet lovey Goffin cockatoo, his eyes were all like red and watery, and then he had like all this snot in his little nose holes, and he like would sneeze and he couldn't like breathe. Like I had to like wipe his little nose off. I think that they were actually close to almost dying then, which is so scary. So I just think that if they had been there, they would have been goners. So I was very thankful to not have birds at that moment. And like I said, it's been a couple weeks, and finally, the smoke campfire smell has finally gone away. So that was exciting. I've had a couple more fires since and have managed to lodge open the flue, which is good. And now that was just a learning experience. And now it's 60 today, so there's that. Okay, and now the final meat and potatoes, if you will, of the show. We're going to go into yet another wonderful story about how men are douchebags and you can't trust any of them. Alrighty, as you guys know, I was newly single at the beginning of the year and tried to join a bunch of groups to make friends. And, so I joined an improv group, and I joined dancing, and I joined a run club. I just did it all. And this run club, I actually used to be a part of years ago when I got single for the first time from Doo-Doo Boy, if you guys know him, or Marcus. He, we broke up after 2 years, and I went and made friends there, and I actually made a really good friends with this running club. I used to go to baseball games with them. We would do extracurricular activities and functions and all that kind of stuff, and events that weren't just running, and it was great. And then I lost track. I went to work on cruise ships, blah blah blah. But I joined back this same exact running club, and I like this running club because it's like an outskirts of Dallas kind of running club. It's not like the actual Dallas running club, so it's not like hundreds of people that go. It's a very small group, and you have your regulars, and it's pretty tight knit, and everybody's just really great. It's a very diverse group of people, age wise, just different cultures, different interests. I just really enjoy this little group. Everybody gets along really well, and it's fun. We always meet up in usually the same spot. We'll run 3 miles, and then we'll go to either a brewery or a bar or somewhere after. Some people go and just socialize. You don't even have to drink. It's just a really good time. Last week we went to this little brewery here called Bitter Sisters. I'll give them a shout out. Fun little brewery. The beer tender there is hot AF. He's training for an Ironman, and I totally smashed. But anyway, that does not matter here. That's where we went last week. I was cleansing, or actually it was this week. I'm sorry. I was doing a cleanse day, or a shake day. So I didn't drink. I went and had a big Topo Chico. I was very proud of myself. It sucked watching everybody else get their beer flights, and I drank water, but I did it. Sometimes it's nice to remind yourself, hey, I can do these things. I can do hard things, and have some self-control. But anyway, what happened is we have a founder of our group. He's really awesome, and he recently took it over from another guy who ran the Run Club, no pun intended. And I always thought this guy was super hot when I saw him on the pictures online. Let me remind you guys, I do have very strange taste. I think my taste is great, but other people see guys I think are hot, and it's just not usually on the book of what everybody else thinks. I have a very, let's not go bad, I'll go unique taste. And I thought this guy was very cute. He was Latino, shocking, I know. Long curly hair down his back. Yeah, just had this like confidence, didn't care what people thought about him kind of look. Like, he's cute. So I never met this guy. He gave up the Run Club before I joined, and before the Run Club happens, before we start running, we take a selfie together. And I would always see that he would go to these runs when I wasn't there. And I'm like, damn, I missed him again. So anyway, a couple weeks ago, I went and he actually showed up. And I was like, oh, man, finally. And I was like, oh, hey, I'm so-and-so. Well, I'm Sarah. I didn't say I'm so-and-so. He is so-and-so. We're not going to give his name away here. We're not going to do that. But anyway, I met him and I was like, yeah, I always see your pictures and I always miss you on the runs. And he's like, yeah, cool. So yeah, whatever. We all went running and then we went to a Mexican restaurant after and got margaritas because they always have $4 margaritas on Wednesday nights, which is freaking awesome. So we went there, got margaritas, everybody was talking, and then a lot of people leave after the first drink. You're like hardcore people stay for a second drink, and I'm always in that group. And he stayed as well. And we basically just really hit it off. He was really cool, and everybody ended up leaving, and he was like, do you want me to walk you to your car? And I was like, that's chivalrous. I like that. And I feel like I've talked about this part on here before. But anyway, I did not give the updates. So he walked me to my car. And I was like, hey, your car's really far. Do you want me to drive you back to yours? He's like, yeah, that'd be great. So he did. And he's like, hey, would you want to go dancing sometime or get drinks or something? I'm like, yeah, you know what? Why not? And that was like right after I was like, guys, never leave me alone. But I was really into him. And I thought it was great. So I gave him my number. And he left me alone, which I loved that too. I don't like it when a guy like messages me too much or like I get very overwhelmed very easily. It's dumb. It's so dumb, but I do. And like random things can turn me off or give me the ick and I'm just done. This guy didn't do any of that. It was great. I even told him like, I'm going to Florida soon. I'm really busy. Like we'll hang when we hang. And he's like, cool. And I even said I might go to the run on Wednesday, like a hint to be like, maybe I could see you again for a drink or something before I leave town. So he messaged me on the Wednesday afternoon before the run. He's like, are you still thinking about going tonight? He's like, I was going to go to my normal Dallas Run Club, but if you're going, then I'll go. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go. So we went to the brewery. Oh my God, this is a funny part too, is I looked really cute. I never look cute when I go to Run Club. I just go to run, obviously, but like the hair was cute. I even wore effing lipstick and put a squirt of perfume on and wore cute running clothes. I look cute. It looked stupid showing up like that, but I did, and he was there. It was all good. And so we did our 3-mile run. It was all cash, and then we get back to the brewery, and me and this other girl got back first because we only did like 2.5 miles instead of 3.5. And I literally was not asking to really care because I didn't think this at all. I was just trying to make friends with a girl because I don't have a lot of girlfriends. So I asked her, I was like, hey, what do you know about so-and-so? Like, I got his number and, do you know anything about him? And she's like, I thought he was married. And so then my reaction was like, oh, really? Like, that was shocking. I did not expect that. And she's like, yeah, but he's always here. And like, he just recently moved as well. And he asked you she's like, he's probably divorced. Like, that's got to be it. Like, for sure. He doesn't seem like that kind of guy. And I'm like, okay, cool. That like put my guard down a little. I was like, that's good. So everybody else got back. We're all drinking. I go to my second beer and leave it to me, by the way, to like put my foot in my mouth like this. Like, I was sitting there talking to him and I was like, oh yeah, like I'm probably going to go home tonight and cook a bunch of Cinnamon Toast Crunch bacon because I always go home and gorge myself after these runs, which is so bad. And bacon just sounds so good. And he's like, oh, I've been a vegan for 6 years. And I'm like, cool, that's great. And like we were drinking and then I was like, have you ever like, I was like, what if a girl ate a cheeseburger and then tried to make out with you? And then he's like, I've done worse than that. So it was getting flirty, but also funny. And like, it was fine. So we stay there drinking. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'm going to head out. He's like, yeah, me too. I'll walk you out. I'm like, cool. And so we go to leave and we go to my Jeep and he's like, well, it was really good to see you. We'll definitely hang when you get back in town. I was like, yeah, cool. That's great. So we hugged and it was a lingering hug. You know what I mean? And we pulled away slowly and he was looking at me. And then all of a sudden he just pushes me up against my Jeep and kisses me. And he kisses me like hard. It wasn't like a little, it was like a pretty hot, like intense kiss on the verge of a makeout session. I remember it vividly because he also had just shaved his beard. So it was like one of those, if you haven't like made out, ladies, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't made out with a guy in a long time that has a beard or stubble, like it kind of gives you like rug burn or like face burn from the beard burn. So it was like that. But anyway, it was really hot. And I pushed him off of me though. I don't know how long we kissed before I pushed him off me, but I did. And I was like, damn, that was great. But the first thing I said was, you're not married, right? Or like, you're not married, are you? And he says, yeah, actually I am. What? Are you kidding me? Are you effing kidding me? Are you kidding? I was so shocked because I know this girl said that, but she even was like, he has to be divorced. And I genuinely didn't think it, but I was like, oh, this is all going well. Like, so it was like almost like a joke, but then I just did not expect that answer. And then I was like speechless. I was shocked. I did not even know what to say or where to follow up with that at all. So I was like, oh, and I was like, are you guys like in an open marriage or, and he's like, well, we're working on it. We're in the talks of that and like working out all the details. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was just trying to get out of there as quickly as I could without any drama or like, I was just like, I was spooked. I was freaked. I was like, what is happening? Right. So I was like, okay, cool. I was like, well, I'll talk to you. Good to see you like later, and like got out of there as quickly as I could. And initially on my way home, I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And, you know, like, and I believed that he was in an open relationship or working on it. And then as like I got closer to home and was really like getting out of that situation and coming back to earth, I was like, this guy is a fucking liar. Like, what? We're in the talks of it. We're working on it. Okay, and first and foremost, if you were in an open relationship, that's something you tell a girl before you freaking make out with her. You tell them, I'm in an open relationship. I'm married. She's cool with it. I'm cool with it. But are you cool with it? So even if you were in an open relationship like that and you make out with me, like, I would be like, F you, because like you should have told me this beforehand and given me the option of if I wanted to indulge in this, right? Honesty, openness, like F that, first of all. And second of all, every guy that tells you, oh yeah, we're in an open relationship or I have an open marriage is usually full of shit. But for one to say we're working on it, like his poor wife. I just hate that. Oh my God, guys. I'm still getting into this, but let me just tell you right now, this is not the end. It gets worse. Okay, so that happens. You know, I get home and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so shaken up by this. I'm just like, I feel like an idiot. And then I also started thinking, like, I'm sitting here thinking this is going so well, but I'm like, what kind of girl do you think I am that we've had 2 conversations, very small conversations, that you think you can like push me against my Jeep and like make out with me like that? Am I giving off this energy? Because I really don't think I am. But maybe I am. I don't know. Or maybe it was just like, I'm going to shoot my shot. I don't know. Whatever. It really shook me up. And then the next day he messaged me and he's like, I know you're leaving for Florida today, but what time are you leaving? And I just didn't even answer. It was almost like a, hey, let's hook up before you go. Like, bro, really? Really? So I just didn't answer. While I was on vacation in Florida, he sent me a picture of Cinnamon Toast Crunch bacon. He's like, is this the bacon you were talking about? And I'm like, okay, cool. And then, this is the final thing, on Thanksgiving evening, he messaged me and said, hey, not sure if you're back from Florida yet or not, but just wanted to say I hope you're having an absolutely awesome Thanksgiving. Cheers to you. And sent me a picture of his hand holding a glass of red wine. I never responded. Okay, guys, get ready for part 2. Fast forward to next week, Wednesday night, Run Club. We run in a new location. It's super cute. We were supposed to go run in all these Christmas lights and there were none turned on. We went to the bar after, and this is what happens. Like, lately I've been trying not to apologize for it as much, but I'm an open book. I tell my whole life story. I tell all the details about me. And used to, I tried to like tone myself down, which you have to do in some situations in certain atmospheres. But I'm also lately like, I'm just going to be myself. And if somebody doesn't like that about me, then they don't have to be around me, and I will attract the people I'm meant to be around, and I will push away the ones that are not my people. So anyway, I was like, fuck it. And I had a Topo Chico seltzer, and then I was on my second one, because, you know, drink round number 2 club here. And then I was like, I'm just going to bring this up. So I brought it up to a couple people near me, and I was like, do you guys know this person I'm talking about? And I told them what happened with the making out. And they're like, oh my God. And then this attracted the attention to everybody else at the other end of the table. And it just became an ordeal. I told all of them about it. The girl next to me was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Are you kidding? Look at this. And pulls her phone out. And mind you, this girl is like young 20s, like low 20s. She has a kid who's like 1 or 2 years old. And she's so sweet. Blonde. But anyway, she shows me her phone and she's like, yeah, he has my number. He texts me all the time. And I'm like, wow. So when he first met her, she had a boyfriend, and this was in Run Club as well. And he's like, well, you want to go out for a drink or something sometime? And she thought it was just like a friendly Run Club kind of thing. And she's like, sure. So she goes out with him for a drink, and she said he was like really creepy, hitting on her a lot. And then she's like, well, I got to go. And he's like, do you want to take this somewhere else? And she's like, well, I have my kid. And he's like, well, he can come too. Like, what? What? Are you kidding? So she's still with her boyfriend too, and then he invites her and her boyfriend over to a party they had at their place, and she meets his wife, who she said is really pretty, but he is married. So then we're like, is this a swinger thing, or is he just really stupid or a really big piece of crap? I don't know. And then she's like, yeah, he sent me this picture on Thanksgiving. And I was like, whoa, wait. And I look at my picture and I look at her picture. He sent us the exact same photo, and happy Thanksgiving, the fucking photo of red wine. And we're sitting here dying like, you're kidding me. And we're like going crazy about this. And then a girl at the other end of the table goes, wait, guys, is it a photo of him holding a glass of red wine? And shows us her phone. The same fucking picture. I can't make this shit up. So this guy has like ran it on every effing girl in a Run Club. And one guy's like, wow, he has a type. And I'm like, what, female? Like, oh my God, this guy's just shooting his shot all over. Like, how many girls has he done this to? Are they swingers? Is their relationship open? Or is his wife just like the most his poor fucking wife. I found out, too, she's like a geology teacher and apparently really great. And this other person in the Run Club told me, no, they're very happily married. They just bought a house together. What in the hell? So this is just crazy. I'm just shocked. He hasn't said anything else to us. Somebody suggested that we like all take a picture of our drink and send the same picture to him, all three of us. And I really wanted to, but the other girls wouldn't do it. Oh my God, I'm dying. So now I'm in the spot. Do I like just like say F this guy and like never talk to him again? Does somebody need to tell his poor wife? I don't know her. I don't even know him. Like, what do you do in this situation? So anyway, basically there's your little story of what it's like to be mid-30s and single and dating. You can either get these young 20-somethings that want to be like pegged and just like F your brains out and get really attached after, or you can go your own age, and most of them are married. So life is good, and there you go. Oh, life is crazy. All right. Well, that is all for today. I think I've shared enough with you guys. Once again, it is less than a week till I can share with you guys some very exciting news of what I've been up to this year. Again, I think some of you had gathered what it is. I can't confirm nor deny, but in less than a week, I'll be able to tell you guys about it, and I cannot wait. We'll have some very special guests on the podcast to tell their stories and their experiences, and y'all can meet some of my friends as well. It'll be super fun. I'm going to try to get the video aspect of that working before that too. I think that'll just add something. It'll be so next level. So we'll see what happens there. And yeah, last but not least, once again, if you want to join the Go Cleanse family and see what it's all about, or at least just check it out and see what I'm talking about, put a face with the name or the product or whatever, go to gocleanse.com/Sarah and you will see everything you need there. And there's a phone number if you have any questions about health concerns or whatever the case may be. Rita can help you out. She is a rock star. All right, guys. Well, as always, you can go to my website, which is sarahbshow.com. That's SARAH, the letter B, show.com. And you can look at all the episodes there. You can see everywhere this podcast is streamed. You can find my social media. You can send in a question, either text or via voicemail, which is pretty rad. You know, I check it like once a year. It's great. A little more than that. I'm getting better. No, I'm not. I'm trying, though. The thoughts to get better are there. We'll go with that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Send all the vibes and good thoughts and prayers for me to maybe be able to find a guy one day that is not married and not lying about his stuff. And I'm so curious to see what you guys would do. Would y'all tell his wife? Would you just say F this and leave the situation alone completely? I'm so curious. And I'm dying to see if this guy ever shows up to Run Club again, because like I just don't even know how I would react. I really don't. So anyway, that is everything. This will probably be the last podcast I do. You know, I'll probably be able to do one next weekend. And it'll be so exciting because I'll, on that one, be able to talk about everything that I got to I'll be able to tell you guys all the secrets I've been keeping from you. So exciting. All right. Well, I love each and every one of you. Happy holidays. Hope everything is going great. And thank you for listening and supporting as always. I love you all. Oh, I'm going to prep one more thing before I go. My OnlyFans. My friend Deedly Doo from the Lex and Terry Show, did his little directorial debut on my feet recently. It's nothing crazy or big, but he's very proud of it, and it was fun to do. Once again, my OnlyFans is no nudity at all. So before you go subscribe, know that so you don't get on there and get mad at me. It is a mere $9.99 a month. It helps me greatly. It really does. And I just post some selfies, some behind the scenes stuff that I'm doing, feet pictures, whatever. I feel like it's kind of my own little private, secret journal on there. So I like it. And that is onlyfans.com/Sarah B. Morgan. And there you go. All right. I'm really going to shut up and get out of here now. I'm going to go drink my last cleanse drink. And tomorrow morning, I would like you all to think about me eating breakfast, because that's what I'm going to be doing with a big ass smile on my face. And I cannot wait. With a banging body eating breakfast. All right. Love you guys. Until next time. Thanks for listening to another episode of The Sarah B. Show. Mwah.